anywhere, that's anytime, you can still get killed. I'm aiming for wigs, so I'm aiming to kill. Set up in the men's, don't give a fuck, you can still get drilled. All I wanna do is crush that porn. My niggas them told me make peace before you go to war. I said fuck that, I wanna drill now and then drill some more. Smoke my man in the face, yeah that point got scored. Couldn't give a toss about law. Niggas no CP. More time if it was done by the 7, it was done by me. I ride for my G's, put my heart on the streets. So if you see me, that's not my teeth. So chat tough and I'm spinning round. Ask the ops how that spin the sounds. When I spin the bang, just try and know that's a nigga down. And where I'm from, we always know to keep things around. All the risks that the team be taking. That's why my nigga Nero's money.
Salute to you all. Happy New Year. Can you hear me?
Yep. Yeah, salute to everyone. Salute everyone. Salute to everyone in the chat. Salute to you guys.
Did you have a good New Year day today?
Yeah, not bad, not bad, man. I'm just chilling at home.
All right, cool. Mike's banging around.
Ain't banging around, man. I just went ting, ting, ting.
Fistiana, salute to you, Queen. I think that's Miss Boxing, isn't it? I think. That was Happy New Year to you, anyway. Right. What start talking about this guy and about. Did any of you see his interview? What he did?
Yeah, it wasn't an interview, but I saw it.
Yeah. I can't find the bloody picture.
Yeah, I saw the video he did. I think, yeah. I'll let somebody else go first, or
Big Juice.
Somebody explain it.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know.
Well,
salute to you, Fistiana, and salute Rob Sportsman Lee.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen it, but I don't really look for Big Baby anymore. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
After what he done.
No, I don't. But what? Mike, I'm just going to put your microphone on mute a minute, mate. Or you mute it.
Okay.
Mike, just mute your microphone, man.
Dude, like nobody's really saying anything. It's like it's not even really that loud. But anyways, if you got so you got fucking Big Baby Miller. You don't have to look for him or anything because of what he ever said, because whatever he had to say was all over the internet. Believe Mr. Boxing Today and someone else made a big basically took what he did on his Instagram live and fucking put it out there for the whole world to see. But really, to tell you the truth, I don't think anything of it. But you know, who knows? He probably really feels that he probably didn't take anything the second time or whatever. But nonetheless, it's still in the system. So we really can't do anything about it. You have to roll in bottom because obviously he's suspended. And when you're doing the suspension for drugs and stuff like that, they are going to have to do random testing, which you're going to have to pay out of your own pocket. But there's really nothing much to say about it. But you can even say it's the arrogance on this part to say all that stuff and be like, well, this is how they do it. They come over here to piss you and day before New Year's and this and the third. But hey, come on. Yeah, I should go back to kickboxing. Probably can't even go back to kickboxing.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know, if he wants to continue boxing and stuff like that, this is what he's going to have to do. I mean, I don't see too much about it, but
yeah. Well, my thing is, what I heard, because I only heard a bit of it, but what I heard was he was on about the amount of shit what he had in him, and but he didn't name that he had other, was it EPO or whatever it was called? He had two other substances in him. But my point is, Mike, is I don't understand, because he said it towards the end. He said when his suspension's up, he's going to he's going to come back and he's going to get everyone or something along them lines. Oh, Black Blanter, salute to you, bro. But the thing is, I can't see him ever getting a shot again because if you think about it, he's got to do a 2-year ban and then he's got to work his way up from the bottom again. And plus the other thing is who on earth is going to trust the fella to not pop dirty? Because Eddie Hearn has said he'll never touch him again. And as long as oh, Ricky, salute to you, bro. As long as AJ's champion, Eddie Hearn said that there's no way on earth that he's ever going to get a shot. So I really can't see him getting a shot again. I mean, I don't know how old he is. How old is Big Baby?
Well, it doesn't matter how old he is. I don't even know if it's going to be a 2-year suspension. And he wasn't talking about the first time he popped. He was talking about the second time he popped when he said there wasn't that much consistent. That's why he referenced John Jones and the thing. But at the end of the day, we're talking about shots here. Anthony Joshua was talking about relinquishing the belt anyways to fight Tyson Fury if they could get that fight happening in April or May when Edwin Hearn says. But yeah, that's what he was talking about.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but the thing is, even if AJ did drop that belt and just say he did beat Fury, if they do fight, which I don't think they will, because I think he'll fight Wilder next, and then I think AJ will fight Usyk. But just saying if they did, Miller's 32. Oh, cheers, Rick. So he's no spring chicken then. So, 34 by the time he comes back? You're looking at easily a year, maybe 18 months before he's even got himself back in the top contenders, would you say?
Yeah, but that's why I'm talking about his age. It doesn't matter because we got 40-year-old dudes out here fighting for belts. Now we're going to talk about like what will he be able to do in those years. That's different. That's because that's all depending on his genetics.
True, yeah.
But as far as what we see from the guy, he's not that bad, whatever. But he needs to lose. To me, he doesn't need to lose weight necessarily, but he needs to get close to something that's optimal for what his weight he walks around with, and endurance and strength and all that stuff. Because it just didn't look right in the ring, as far as, moving around and stuff like that. He wasn't the fastest spring chicken on the block. But I don't think the age matters, man. But another thing too, it's like some of these fighters ain't gonna have no choice but to fight this guy because the money's right. They're just gonna take the fight anyway. Because even if he does pop again or whatever the case may be, they still get that bread.
Yeah. What do you think, Tyrone, or anyone else before I chime on with my point?
Yeah, I saw him complaining about VADA testing and everything like that. Why don't he go back to kickboxing or something else like that? If it's too much for him, then I guess this isn't sport for him. I mean, I don't understand why he just doesn't come out and say that, you know what, I took it. Because there have been people who have said that in the UFC and in boxing, just gave up and said, you know what I did. And you earn more respect. He keeps saying that, oh, he didn't do that, he didn't do this. People have forgotten about this guy. So he gets what he gets. And
yeah, I think in my opinion, I think he's still got a place in boxing. Like Tyson Fury, he cheated. You got Povetkin, you got Dillian White. So Big Baby Miller, I think he's still got a future in boxing. It is what it is, man. I think he's gonna come back, and he's not gonna be far off of challenging for a title because those titles are probably gonna go. Probably AJ is gonna let the titles go, and he's probably gonna fight for the titles, or he might even face AJ. I can see that fight happening. I can see Eddie Hearn changing his mind because Eddie Hearn gave Dillian White a chance and he gave Povetkin a chance. So why shouldn't he give, Big Baby Miller a chance? Although he failed twice, but it's boxing. They're all on the juice, to be honest, in my opinion.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, Pep, I think I've just sent it to you, Watcher. Check the email. Salute to you, Canvas.
Yes.
Salute to you, brother. The thing is, I think Big Baby was more of a threat though than them to AJ. That's what I think. Canvas, your point, mate.
You're talking about Big Pharmacy.
Big Pharmacy. Yeah, Big Juicy.
Listen, first of all, Mikey, Tyrone, Pep, how you doing?
Hey, what's up? You haven't been on in a while.
I doing Canvas long time.
All right, man. Sound. Yeah, look, first of all, if you get banned, okay, don't be going around saying Dillian White had more in his body than what I did, okay? We know Dillian White popped dirty, we never got done for it, but accept your ban and just get on with it. Stop trying to use other people to justify your ban. Okay? Yeah. Just get on with it. You got caught. Stop whinging and bitching and moaning about it. Just get on with it.
Good point. Good point.
But do you think he's still got a future though? Because they're all being popped and they're still earning money, Canvas. So do you think once he served his ban, do you think he still deserves a chance? Because I believe he does. Because if the others do,
yeah,
I believe he does as well.
I do. Yeah, I do myself, Pep. I'm not saying that I don't think he doesn't deserve his chance. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, I think it's going to be a hell of a struggle back for him to where he was. Because let's not forget, this guy was knocking on the door of he lost out on the biggest payday of his career, and the biggest. Who knows? He could have taken them titles. He very well could have done that. And
I believe he would have done it. I believe he would have beat AJ because that AJ
very well could have, Pep. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
I believe he does have a future in the sport, but can he do it junk free? That's the biggest question for me.
Exactly. That's a great point. Because that's what I'm saying, Canvas. Because just after he popped the first time, okay, he did or he went. I don't even know if he did get a ban. I can't remember. I just know he disappeared off the face for a while. But then he came back. He signed with Baron. He was just about obviously have a fight. And then next thing you know, he's popped dirty again. But that's what I'm trying to say is, do you think that he will get that chance again? Because who's going to trust him? I think he definitely deserves his place in boxing. Of course he does. Because there's been flipping hundreds of people who have juiced and they've had multiple chances. So yeah, what's good for one should be good for the other.
It is, but I mean, like, to pop dirty one time before, like you said, the biggest payday of your career, and then while you're still under a ban, and then come back literally briefly, and then pop dirty again. That's just stupidity all over, isn't it? Really?
Well, probably not, because it's probably not stupidity. That's the reason why I told you guys that he's going to pop again, and I didn't say he was going to pop again because he took it. I was saying he's going to pop again because I didn't think there was no way in hell all that shit was going to be out of the system quick enough. You know what I'm saying? And the dude kind of made it seem like he don't even know what he's really taking. You know what I'm saying? What was he really taking and stuff like that? Now, I'm not going to sit up over here and say that he did indeed, no shadow of a doubt, knew what he was taking and got up in there and stuck the needle in his ass and stuff like that. But I would say this, that sometimes in life you just never know. I mean, he fucked up, he messed up twice, so it's not like we could really come out here and give him the benefit of doubt. And then the first time, the amount of stuff that he had in the system. But for you to come out again and that short notice and like do it the way everybody else says, which he took something the second time, it doesn't quite add up. It doesn't matter if somebody is addicted to this stuff. It doesn't matter if somebody feels that they can't do this and get away with it. It's like, you people have to understand that this guy, he failed at trying to mask it the first time. Why would he take it again and then get a much more longer ban when they let him off the hook the first time? See, the stuff doesn't make any sense to me. and it shouldn't make sense to anybody. But that he would go out there and take some for the second time, it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people out there would insinuate the other thing because that's the only thing they can think of. But it just doesn't. It just doesn't add up. You know. But at the end of the day, like I'm saying, like I'm telling y'all, there was no way in the world he was going to come back with nothing in the system. No way. No way. And like I said, when he said that he had less in the system when he popped, that was for the second time to Dillian White. That might have to be true, but Vada is not UCAD. You know what I'm saying? So it's apples and oranges, and you know you just got to suck it up.
Yeah, that's the main thing, Mike. That's a good point what you're saying. But like Canvas said, like I'll stress and I'll pass it on. I definitely think he deserves a place in boxing because, like Mark Wunderlich just said, White Pop Dirty. Where's the B sample? Exactly. Where is that B sample? It's never been seen. The amount of boxers what have popped dirty. So I believe that he definitely deserves a place back in it. But there's two things like what Canvas sit on. The things what I don't like is how he's sort of like shifting the blame on other fighters. What about what they had and all this? He was juiced up more than probably any of them. But the thing is, like Canvas said, you've got to take it and just shut up and get on with it. Stop trying to blame other people. And the other key factor is, what's he going to be like juice free? Because he's a big dude, man. Like I say, and I often wondered for many times how he could throw so many punches. But, you know, and do 12 rounds. He's in the 12th round. If he hadn't knocked someone out, he looked like he just started the first round. So it's going to be very interesting to see what he comes back like when he does eventually come back. And to see which promoter's going to actually touch him. Yeah. Oh, salute to you, Flower. Go on, sorry, bro.
I watched one of his early fights today, Jarrell Miller, against a guy called Donovan. And if Miller was juicing back then, I mean, the referee was an absolute disgrace in this fight. I mean, this guy was all busted up. And it went 7 rounds. It should have really been stopped around, I'd say about 5 rounds. Now, if Miller was juiced up in this fight, I mean, this guy's Donovan, his face was a mess. And like I said, the referee was an absolute joke in it. Miller was just getting free ones on this guy. And, you know, he could have done some real damage to this guy if he'd been on juice at the time. I don't know whether he was, you know. But it's this thing, isn't it? If you're on a performance-enhancing drug or some steroid, you kill somebody in that ring, you're getting life.
Yeah.
You know, you should do. You should be banned for life. And I watched that Donovan fight today, earlier in his career, Jarrell Miller. And I was wincing at the guy was getting a beat down. The referee, it's still letting it go on. The guy was a mess. If you ever get a chance, go and watch it. Go and watch the fight, Donovan against Jarrell Miller. And, you know, if this guy is on, you know, performance-enhancing drugs, he could have killed that guy because the guy had nothing left. It should have been stopped long before it ever went on in the 7th. And it's things like this where someone is going to get seriously. I mean, boxing's not for the faint-hearted anyway, you know what I mean? But when someone's got a massive edge against an opponent in a ring, you know, it's
especially if you've got a poor referee as well, like fucking Jack Reese or something.
Oh well, that's it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's only a matter of time before shit like that happens in the sport. It's already happened, but I mean, it's how do you get a guy to stop doing things that he's been doing all his life?
Yeah,
and like I said, it's can he cope without the influence of the drugs? I don't know.
I think he can. I honestly think he can, to be honest. I think the drugs is always going to stay in his system, in my opinion. He's always going to be performing like that anyway, because he's been using it for such a long time. it's going to stay in his system. And I think Big Baby Miller, you know, I don't think it's going to be as good, but I think he's still going to be decent at the end of the day. And I think he's got a chance of coming back, like I said. And the promoters, if they don't take him, the networks will probably take him. Do you know what I mean? Because, you know what I mean? There's so many people that are juicing in the sport, and they're still getting a chance. So Big Baby Miller, in my opinion, I just think he should get a chance because of the others. If you're going to ban one guy, they should all get banned. They should all get banned, or don't ban them at all. That's my opinion.
Smart one,
That's my opinion.
Yeah, I do. And do you know what, right? I didn't even think of this. I was just thinking the good thing about Big Baby as well is the guy can sell himself. He's got to be one of the best trash talkers in the business. So, you know, that will help him to get a promoter, you know, because he is a great trash talker. I don't think there's anyone in the business who can trash talk better than what Big Baby can. And like you say, Pep, I'm going to bring Watcher in a minute. Mark Wunderlich made a great comment before. He said refs should be held accountable too. Damn right, Mark. You're absolutely bang on there, bro. But before I bring Watcher in, the thing is with Big Baby, I agree with what you said, Pep. I think he is a force because the guy's a fucking big dude, man. There's no doubt about it. If he, you know, I mean, I know I've seen him like Bob Dandino and that, and like I've seen that fight what Watcher was on about where he pummeled that guy. Even I don't know, he's a big dude. He was a threat, and I had him 60-40 over the AJ fight to beat AJ because of his pace and his stamina. But obviously, we know what played a big part of that. Watcher, salute to you, brother, and Happy New Year. I'm going to let you lot chop it up for a minute, and then I'll be back. I'm just going to go for a quick cigarette.
Salute, Watcher.
And everyone else. Yeah, salute to all. Good canvas bet is back. I was wondering like where you went, but you know it's good to have you back as well. Good to have you all back. We're on about Miller, Gerald Miller. Yeah. Man, like, I reckon he can come back, but you know the thing with me is we don't know. No one knows until those results come back. You know, I saw that he did that video talking trash about everyone, and you know, he's like, I'm taking my first random VADA test, and I don't know, man. I just don't know if he's really going to follow through with it. As in, like, if he's actually going to test clean, because he had like 3 different things in his system for Joshua. Then he had something else for Jerry Forrest. So, I mean, it's twice, 4 different types. So I'm unsure if this is going to work. Do I want it to work? Yeah, because I think he's a good addition to this division. He's a threat, and he can fight. Now, whether you want to say he's on something or not.
Agreed.
The dude is like is like 300 pounds or the higher 290s, whatever, right?
Yeah.
He's got that high guard. You know, he walks forward. You know, he can be pretty slippery in there as well. You know, he attacks that body, physically imposing, mentally imposing as well. You know, I've seen those fights with, I'm just looking at his box record. You know, guys like Gerald Washington, you know, Washington really tried to nail him, and, you know, Miller just took it and he just kept going forward. Vark, Adamek, Dinu. You know, and some of these guys, you know, guys that will yet to even fight other people there. You know, I'd love to see Miller, you know, be successful within this. What do you call it? This whole drug testing thing. I've been seeing his Instagram and shit, and he's been, you know, lifting a lot of weight. So, or you know, whatever that means to get in shape. get bigger. But you know, I don't know where he's not going to fight. You know, in America, I think. I think his best bet would be maybe Mexico. I mean, it's pretty easy to get fights there, or somewhere in Russia or Moldova or some unknown place.
Yeah.
Maybe even Africa.
I read something
You
today,
know?
Watcher. Could you just confirm this? Is he banned from the Nevada Commission?
Yeah, he's banned 2 years.
And it's Nevada that handed out that ban. Is that right?
Yeah, but isn't he? Yeah. But isn't he under the VADA? No, sorry, go on. I was thinking something.
No, he's doing Nevada, but Nevada have
Nevada
have the better, because I think how it works is if like that one, for example, bans you, you can't fight anywhere else, like in the US. I think that works with every other one as well. I don't know everything about it.
Technically, you're not supposed to. You can't fight anywhere. It's not just the U.S. That's the reason why UCAD. It's like if you read UCAD's rules and you read the WBC's rules and you read VADA's rules and stuff like that, they have caveats when you pop somewhere else.
Yeah, but I mean,
Mikey moving house.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think he will not fight for 2 years. I think he will fight within that time. You know, I would love to see him in with the top guys.
Get that bread, haven't he, somehow?
Yeah, he will. Don't you worry, he will. But
who do you think should be a good comeback fight for him then, Watcher?
I think the guy that he was going to fight, a comeback fight. You know, he was talking about Char and Brian, but you know, Char doesn't want to fight. You know, they're in really the same category. Char's dirty, and Char's really a coward. I wouldn't say Miller's a complete coward.
He's a cheat as well, though, isn't he?
Yeah,
I thought he got off on that.
No, I thought Manuel Char was a cheat.
Tested. He did test.
No, he popped, but I think he got off on it.
Yeah, well,
he got slipped through the cracks.
Well, yeah, but
brown paper, brown
envelope. If Miller's asking for those two guys, good luck with that. Good luck.
This is what he should take though. If you want to talk about fights, I mean, there's some up and coming heavyweights up over here. You got the Lovejoy. You got who's the other guy? You got the Coffee guy. You got Mac Truck.
Sanchez as well.
Yeah, Sanchez, and then you got some UK guys, young guys you can fight. None of these old fucking farts, these legacy motherfuckers. None of these guys. Like, fight somebody with some spunk. You know what I'm saying? That's actually going to fight back. None of these guys. You know, not somebody that you know is going to have to. You know, that's going to go to the gym to do what they got to do to get this W and actually fight back. Instead of like Emmanuel Chalmers going to get in there and do the same thing that he always do, or some other old ass fucking geezer. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't gonna work. That shit ain't gonna look right either. Like, you got a 2-year ban. You got to. This is gonna be.
He's gonna be 34 though, Mike, when he comes back.
If this is 34 or not, he's been in the ring at least. It's not like he
will be 34. So that's what I'm saying.
If Miller was taking these things for a very long time, like the beginning of his boxing career, which I highly doubt he did, this dude would be looking bloated right now, bloated as fuck. You know what I'm saying? If we thought he had titties back then, he'd have some big ass titties right now. You know what I'm saying? Whether or not he had some triple D's, triple Z's. Because taking that type of stuff and then just like going cold turkey and shit like that, it's gonna jack you up. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I don't think he was on there for a very long time. I think he really just took it for that one because they would have caught him. Once he got in the top 15, top 10 of the WBC, they would have caught him. Maybe the first fight, they probably let him slide because of money wise and stuff like that, you know, when he got in the top 15 or whatever. But the second fight, they didn't let him slide. They gave the same test that he got for the AJ fight, and look what happened.
Let me just read this. Let me just Who's that? Oh, salute to you, MX champ. Yeah, I'll send you one in a minute. Just give me a minute. I'm just going to zip off for a cigarette. I just want to bring this up. What Oddfella put before. He's put VADA doesn't stop boxing. Where's he put it now? VADA doesn't stop fights. Boxing commissions do. He can fight where he can get a boxing license. Right, that's interesting.
Yeah, he's right, but they work everything works hand in hand. It's like the triple BOC with UCAD. See what I'm saying? Everything works hand in hand, and we all know this. That's the reason why if you pop, you don't get a license. You know what I'm saying? Either with the boxing commission or with the actual with WC, WBO, or whatever the case may be. Same thing with when Big Baby when Dillian White popped over there in the UK, the WBC still could have done their own thing and dropped Dillian White like a bad habit out of the rankings, or did their own investigation. You know what I'm saying? But instead, what they did was they did their own thing, and the other section of bodies dropped. See what I'm saying? So it's everything is hand in hand.
I would like. I agree with you on the younger fighters. I thought there's a fighter, Michael Polite Coffee. Just get one of these young guys. I guess in the US, you know, but Lovejoy, that's one, because I think he'll beat the crap out of Lovejoy. But I don't think it will be bad to take on. Nah, I was going to say.
What about Jonathan Rice? What about Jonathan Rice? Because I think he was supposed to fight Jonathan Rice, wasn't it? Before Carlos Takam fought him.
No, that was Jerry Forrest, I think.
Oh, yeah, Jerry Forrest. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I
Jerry
mean,
Forrest, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really care about whatever comeback fight he takes. But once he gets that, I want someone big. I would like to see him versus White, because you know they'll shit talk each other, and I honestly, dude, you know he could beat White, you know, because White has a terrible engine, and he might just fucking overwhelm him or something, or just outwork him. You know, if Chisora can do it, and he's smaller, and you know he is more damaged, you know, in terms of his chin, you know, maybe Miller could, you know. It would have been so interesting to see the Joshua fight. I'm telling you, man, you know, even though he's an asshole, this Miller, you know, he could do things in this division. He most definitely can. And you know, he's got the gift of the gab, and that's good for fans, you know, the trash talk and everything. You know, the shit he's saying about Wilder as well. You know, so we'll see what happens at the end of the day. You know, it's going to be a long 2 years, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many guys in this division. So many good fighters that aren't really talked about. I mean, you got the likes of Michael Hunter, who's not getting the recognition that he should be getting. I think he'd be a fantastic opponent if Miller comes out of his time, or if his time is cut short for the ban or whatever. It's just a shame, really, because yeah, there are some good fights to be made out there, and you know what the fans want. It's just the promoters can't seem to put these fights together. You know what I mean? Like Ruiz, and I think that'd be another good fight, actually. Ruiz and Miller, or even like his that friend of his. What's the Polish New Yorker? Kawaki, is it?
Yeah, Konaki.
Yeah, that'd be. I mean, Miller wants to. If and when he does come back, it has to be someone of a decent level. There's no point getting like a sharp in the fight, because he's already been down to that level already. I understand that maybe he needs a quick tune-up, but he should really be going back to the level he was looking at before he got banned the first time, should we say. It should be around that level he should be looking at straight away, not bumming around with like C class or even B class. So that's just my thoughts on it.
I think, yeah, I agree with that. You know, what I like about Miller is, you know, I like how he's outgoing. I remember when he called out Andy Ruiz back here. When was it? It was probably 4 years ago, and he's like, "Hey man, I love you, but I'm gonna whoop your ass." And that's when I saw Ruiz get angry for the fucking first time. Like, he fucking, he was shit talking there. He's like, "I'm gonna fight you next. I'm gonna beat your ass." That's what Miller said, and that's what's good. Like he's very engaging in that. We got a lot of guys like Dillian who they give it the good talk, but then it's non-existent the next minute. I would love that.
Dillian can't say nothing for a while after that uppercut. He just better shut the fuck up, really, after that uppercut.
You know what? I reckon you are right, probably. I mean, that uppercut is completely like as deluded as he was before. I think he's more deluded now as well. Damn, Alex Sasha, man, what did you do to Dillian? What did you do to him?
Who was deluded?
Dillian.
Oh, I was just asking because I got confused. I was digging in my nose when you said that, and then I was just like, I thought he was talking about somebody else. My bad.
Yeah, Dillian White. Yeah, Martin Bucoli versus Big May. Maybe that will be a war.
You talking about Bucoli's that goofy motherfucker, right?
Yeah, he's a fucking sore loser. That's what he is. What a sore loser that guy is.
Oh, mate, no. I remember when Hunter came over and took him apart in London. It was just, the guy's trash, man.
Dillian will probably fight him next.
Yeah, I mean, but I heard you. You said, Watcher, you said Chisora, but then you kind of like went on to something else. Yeah, I think Kevin's about right though, because I don't Miller should out in my opinion, but he could if you want to. But I don't think Chisora Victor Miller should come back and fight like Chisora or Dillian White straight off the rip. I mean, even though he could get some good sparring and stuff like that, and get up in there and fight those guys, but it's just not a good look. Like, after you, that was my grandma. She was in ice dispenser. It's just not a good look, for popping and then coming back and possibly taking an L to one of these guys because you haven't got yourself right. But he has 2 years, like 2 years to get like in the best shape of his life. Going, being able to go 15 rounds. I mean, that should be the goal right there for a big guy like that. Be able to go 15 rounds and have a huge punching output. That should be the goal right there. You got 2 years to do it. You got 2 years to do it. I mean, hell, he could probably just drop a good, 10, 15, 20 pounds and that's it. But if I was him, I would not be ingesting the artificial muscle intelligence. I wouldn't even take a multivitamin. Man, I wouldn't even drink Sprite. I mean, that dude, I wouldn't. Like, say for instance, y'all popped, right? Let's say for instance, Candace, since you ain't been around here in a long time, like the duck and dodges and stuff. But let's say for instance, you pop for something, right? You pop for something. Wouldn't you even hesitate taking a multivitamin?
Oh, I'll pop every day, mate.
Yeah. No. I'm just saying, it's like if you pop for steroids and you saw a Tylenol or anything, and you got to go piss, you got to go through all this piss regimen stuff now because you pop. Wouldn't you be like, damn, I don't think I should take this Tylenol. Well, I don't think I should take this multivitamin.
He should have a team around him. He's a professional athlete. He should have a team around him, a nutritionist, a coach, a trainer, whatever, who should be looking out for him. Most top fighters these days, and you can call him a top fighter because he's ranked in the heavyweight division. Most fighters have these guys to look out for them. Okay, they have lists that come out from the governing bodies, what is acceptable, what can't be taken, what can be taken in moderation. So if he's putting that junk into his body, obviously no one's looking out for him in that corner in his camp.
Well, I don't know how he got in the system, but I'm gonna tell you this one thing. Now, a lot of those guys that they're hiring stuff like that, they even fail at their job as well. And I give you one case in point. That was Alexander Povetkin. And at the end of the day, this is the reason why you just can't be a boxer, man. And I tell everybody this: if you pop, if you can't just be a boxer in boxing, because if you pop, they're not looking at your trainer, your nutritionist, they're looking at you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened to Alexander Povetkin. He didn't know what he was taking.
Yeah, Mikey, let me ask you a question. You've played ball, okay?
Yeah, well, I still play ball.
Okay, right. Now, even down to JUCO football in the States, how often do you get piss tested up to, say, I don't know, higher college football?
No, we don't get piss tested.
No, you don't.
No, we don't get piss tested. You could juice all day.
Okay, right. Okay.
What, even the professionals, Mike?
No. They get. I believe they get random piss tests. It's supposed to, some players get tested like, a couple times a week for no reason.
So you could go from JUCO football, juicing your ass off, and get picked up by a bigger college like UCLA or something like that, and you could juice to get there. Is that right then? Until you get to UCLA.
I don't know about the JUCO, but I'm pretty sure like even if they don't test, the school might even test like just for like weed and stuff like that, cocaine, heroin, But I believe they have to test too. But I think at JUCO, I don't think they test like that because it's just the money. That shit costs a lot of money. You talking about once a week? You talking about once a week? Somebody got to once a week or once a month, somebody's got a piss test, and it's a 50-man roster. Probably when you got 60, 80 people actually fully on the team.
Wow.
Right. Wow. Right. Are we all done talking about Miller then?
Yeah, man.
No, I ain't done talking about that skeezer. I'm joking.
Right. The fight tomorrow then. Tyrone, do you want to start off, bro? How do you see it going and why?
I hope this guy can come in and do the job, but he's probably just going to have another mental breakdown.
Who's that, Luke?
Yeah, I was thinking about it last night, and the styles don't really because he's never really been like a come forward guy. That's what he needs to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he's definitely more talented, but I mean, he's going to retire and look back and said, wow, I'm probably one of the biggest underachievers, in the sport in a while.
Yeah, facts.
Good point.
I think it's tomorrow night. Whether Luke realises it or not, he's going to be used as a stepping stone. That's the way I see it. This is all about Ryan Garcia tomorrow night. I feel sorry for Luke. He's had his chances, but let's just be honest, against Linares, against Loma, just not good enough. He's an honest kid, but tomorrow night he's been used as a stepping stone, and whether he realises it or not, and I think the speed of Garcia, Luke will do well to keep him at range because he likes to keep his fighters at range with his long reach and stuff like that. But it will do well. I think that check left hook that he's got, Garcia, will do a lot of damage. Yeah. But saying that, I mean, I'll bring Watcher in a minute. Maybe he can talk about it a little bit more. I mean, it's a big challenge for Garcia. This is by far the biggest opponent he's fought so far because he's fought trash. But he's being built up. You can see on DAZN or Golden Boy, he's the second coming. I don't think he's the second coming, personally. I think the danger man to the top boys in this division, like Loma, Devin Haney, and obviously Lopez, I think the real danger man to them, and I'll bring in Watcher now to talk about it because it's his countryman, is Camboso Jr. I think that the kid is dynamite. What do you reckon, Watcher?
Well, I have opinion on that, but let Watcher go first.
No, you go first. All right.
I don't think he's anything at all. I felt that he lost to Lee Selby. Yeah, I've seen Cambosa's fight. I mean, he went life and Mickey Bay is a good boxer, but
really, I thought he pissed all over Selby actually. But
No.
hey, cool.
I usually don't go for the boxer in those when I'm looking at fights, but I felt like he was outboxing him pretty comfortably. It was a close fight, but I had like Selby win by like at least max. It was like a 7-5, 8-4 type of a deal. He had him confused the entire time. If Lee Selby was a bigger puncher, it'd be even a wider gap. But Kambosos, I don't think much of him at all.
Right. What say you, bro?
You're not gonna get an objective breakdown from me because Ryan's a little donut as far as I'm concerned.
Donut.
I hope he loses.
And
I
EHO.
really hope this guy loses. Really hope this guy does.
He's an hot watcher.
But he's gonna fucking win, isn't he? I guess. It's just one of those fights where I just simply don't give a shit about this kid, man. Like Luke, needs to suck it up and fucking bite that mouth guard and, box however you may. I saw him sparring the other day. There's the training camp stuff up. And he's sparring, and look, you can take away what you want from sparring and all that, but like, I see him and he's got that lead hand down, and it's like, if you do that in the fight, you may get caught. I'm just saying.
And if you lose to this guy, like he's not in there with a next level guy talent wise. This guy is probably talent wise average at best. With a huge machine behind him. I mean, it's really obvious about how much of a hype job he is. So he's not better than Linares or Lomachenko or will ever be as good as those guys. So if you were to lose to him tomorrow night, then that's embarrassing.
I think it will be used for the sake of if he beats Luke Campbell tomorrow night, they'll use it. Well, I've beat a guy who took you the limit to Lomachenko and Linares. Now, take a look at me, sort of thing. It'll be used as a yardstick for Garcia. I still think he gets rinsed by all the three top boys in the division. Personally, well, why wouldn't he? I mean, like he's fought nobody. I just think he's overhyped. I think he's a decent boxer. Don't get me wrong. In a couple of years, maybe 2-3 years, but at the minute, he's just dog food for all these guys.
What? Oh yeah, I totally agree. I really think that, straight punches down the middle, don't try any hooks. Right? If you go through hooks, get in the guy's chest. He's very upright. He doesn't really move his upper body a hell of a lot. He's pretty stiff up there, from what I've seen. His chin is up. Aim to break that jaw, because that boy, he's not going to react well, in my opinion. At least with Luke, he's been in wars. So who knows? Maybe now that switch has been flicked a bit, but, I don't know. I just got a feeling Ryan is going to catch this guy. I told you, I'm not going to give the best breakdown, but fucking Luke, beat this boy up. Please win. Please.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Yeah. I think I got a feeling Luke might win tomorrow, because I was listening to Luke earlier.
Same thing.
I bought the Sun earlier for £2. I didn't know it was £2, so I just bought it.
I've got it on me telling me.
Yeah, I got it on my telly, on my Fire Stick, basically. I bought it, it's on £2. Do you know what I mean? So I was listening to Luke, and Luke was saying when he fought against Lomachenko, he wasn't at his best, even though people were giving him credit and stuff like that. He said he felt like he wasn't on his best. And tomorrow night, he's going to be at his best. And I can see in his eye, man, the way he's talking, like, I just got that little feeling. I might be wrong, but tomorrow might be an upset, man. I think Golden Boy, is going to regret taking this fight. Because Luke Campbell, Ryan Garcia, he's tipped off to be one of the best, the pretty guy, the guy that got lots of Instagram followers. But tomorrow night, that might be all over, man. I got a feeling that Luke Campbell might win, maybe on points.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there, Pep. Because I've looked at his videos, and obviously he's a Latino fighter with Latino following, and they attract big numbers, and that's why basically they're going with Garcia, isn't it? because he attracts big numbers on his media and stuff like that. But I just think tomorrow night it's a stepping stone that Luke's being used as. Whether he realises or not, sadly, he's had 2 title shots, come up short, didn't even look like winning both of the fights, to be honest with you, when he's come up against elite quality. And I'm not saying this kid is elite quality, but I think he's got too much for him at this stage of his career.
See, now you've got me head spinning now, thinking of all things, because this is how I've been over the past couple of days. I've been
Don't sit on the fence, Loz, because you got Joyce against you got that right, so come on.
Yeah, I think I'm going with Luke. I'm going for Luke Campbell, me. But I think it right, there's several things what gets me here. Obviously the age difference, because he's 11 years older. I think Luke, the big favour for me is the experience what swings for Luke. But then the other thing what I keep thinking is the hand speed could be a fucking big problem for him. And the power. The kid can back. I know he's not fought anyone like of Luke's pedigree, but the kid's got youth, he's got speed, and he's got power on his hand. If he comes, aggressive tomorrow and pushes Luke Campbell back on the back foot, I can see it being a problem. But if Luke uses his ring IQ and his experience, and he's got a very good jab as well, I think he might just pull it off. But Rob Sportsman Lee's put Luke for an upset. Who the hell with Garcia? With the hell?
Can't even speak my hand in glasses.
An upset to hell with Garcia. Yeah, I think Luke might just pull it off. I think he might do. That's what I think. I think. Go on, Mike. I think.
Y'all got everybody got good points and stuff like that, man. But I don't really care for this fight. But I might end up watching it anyways. But I really don't care for the fight because I just feel that I just feel like whoever's going to win this fight, the person that wins this fight should be the person that's going to do the right thing after this fight.
Oh yeah, I agree there.
And I don't think Golden Boy and them is going to do the right thing if Ryan Garcia happens to win. I don't think they'd do the right fight. And
Totally agree, Mikey.
And they're gonna go, Golden Boy, Oscar Utensil Hoya is out here saying that 2021 is supposed to be this big, huge thing for Golden Boy. And I'm just kind of like, that's it. Everything should be. You're a promoter. You got a brand and stuff like that. And this every day, every fight, every minute should be like that. Not just when you have somebody that has a lot of Instagram followers. And I think that's what's going to happen if he wins.
Mike, do you not think he's got the making of to be a good tear up?
Who? Ryan?
This fight tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say. I'm definitely not gonna say that. Like this fight is not. It doesn't have the It's not going to be competitive or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Or a good scrap. I'm not no way, shape, form saying that. But I'm just saying is that it's just a huge bummer that we paid for this. We're gonna pay for we're gonna watch this fight. And this is the reason why I tell folks, man, maybe you should never bought this fight because it's not gonna be £2 in the UK forever. And you buying this fight is gonna justify why they're gonna make it higher later. You see what I'm saying? And the winner of this fight is gonna be on his own again. And I guarantee you, if it's Ryan Garcia, he's gonna fight a bum.
Yeah, I agree there. Yeah,
on his own.
You see, this is where I was going to go with it, what you've just said, because I think the same thing. I think Luke would fight if Luke wins. I think Luke would definitely fight one of the top boys if he's given the chance. but I don't believe that Ryan will. I don't know. You don't know, but I don't. Yeah.
Nah. I don't think they will. I think Mikey's hit the nail on the head. If he beats Campbell tomorrow night, they'll bed him back down again. He's not ready for these guys. He's not fought anybody. And it's a classic case of like Dubois and Joyce. You know, Dubois hadn't fought anybody. And if they throw him in it against the likes of Haney, Loma, God forbid, Lopez, he'll get destroyed. And they realise that. And they'll keep him going. They'll feed him some more, you know, mediocre fighters until maybe the end of next year or 22. I'll be amazed if they throw him in with a champ or one of the top boys in the lightweight division. I'll be amazed.
What if he absolutely steamrolls Luke Campbell tomorrow? Like, just say he knocked him out in 3 rounds or something.
He's running to the hills. He's running to the hills to work on the pay-per-view star. And it's going to start off with a bum.
Right, so let me get this right. So whoever, what's Rob put? Tomato.
Yeah. I mean, okay, hold on before you start. I mean, let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. Like, we already seen how he's been putting this guy up against competition, right? Ryan Garcia. We know Oscar De La Hoya pretty well. You know, just like we know a lot of these other promoters and stuff like that. And we know they've been pushing him to be a pay-per-view star. Look at Tank Davis, right? Remember I said, let's get the dude a chance, blah, 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 blah. Then he finally kind of fights somebody. Then we don't know what we're going to see next. It seems like every time somebody's trying to become a pay-per-view star, especially within the last, 5, maybe 10 years, is always every time they just keep these guys, and they just keep giving them these weirdo fights, and then, we finally get a fight to bust our nut. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't think that I don't think the blueprint that they use now is not going to bring in like stiff competition, because they can fight there's a lot of guys he could fight, like either Luke Campbell or Ryan Garcia could fight after this. Yeah, well, just let me read this. What Volts UK's put. He's put, to be fair, Haney hasn't fought no one either, and there is to be fair. My stance on Devin Haney and a lot of these other guys is that I really don't even rank them because they haven't fought anybody. So I'm like, so to be frank, you know, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, they can get my opinion too. Well, I was going to say Rob Sportsman's Lee's put a good comment. He's put, true, but the best in the division is Ducky and Haney for a reason. That's a good point. I mean, I know Tyrone's not a big fan of Devin Haney, but if he steamrolls Luke Campbell tomorrow, isn't this for the interim title? So this makes him the mandatory to the WBC, doesn't he? Which he will be, whoever wins tomorrow will be mandatory for Devin Haney, won't he?
Well, Cambosa's mandatory for Lopez, isn't he? Am I right in saying that? I thought he was after he beat his last fight.
I thought but isn't he franchise belt though, Canvas?
Don't quote me on that, last man.
Yeah, Lopez is franchise, isn't he? And I'm sure you don't fight mandatories, or you don't have to fight mandatories if you're the franchise belt. I could be wrong. Does anyone know that? Is that true, or is that BS?
If you franchise, you don't have to fight mandatories. That's what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying, yeah, but I'm saying if you're the franchise champion, do you get mandatories?
I think they can. Like, if you read their rules, that one little paragraph, it says like something there and something about mandatories with a franchise tag. I forget what it said, but I think they can mandate, the WBC can mandate you to fight whoever they want to, if you're the franchise champ or not, because their definition of franchise is only a paragraph long.
Oh, I thought franchise was like the WBA Super. You didn't have to fight mandatories if you didn't want to.
Nah, if you read the WBC rules, there's nothing in there that says that they can't call for a mandatory fight.
There you go.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's literally 4 sentences long.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
Oddfellows put franchise have no mandatories. Haney has 2 mandatories.
Yeah, Haney does have 2 mandatories, but like I said, if the WBC wants to call for the franchise champion to fight somebody as a mandatory, they can.
Yeah, who's this fella here? Hamza ST, my email. I don't know who that is. Yeah, well, like I say, well.
Yeah, I've seen Hamza a few times around different chats and stuff like that. Yeah, you've seen him too, but you just ain't paying attention.
Right. Well, I'll send you a link in a minute. So, like, just say for instance, then, if he smashes Luke Campbell tomorrow, he's what's Mark put? Haney fought to become Loma's mandatory. Yeah, exactly. Oh, right. It's you. Tell me, champ. Right. Go on. Someone want lead off while send this kid an email.
If he,
I can fucking find it.
Were we talking about Haney and his 2 mandatories?
Yeah, I'm just saying if Ryan Garcia smashes Luke Campbell tomorrow, that makes him mandatory, doesn't it, for Devin Haney? Because it's for the interim title, isn't it?
Maybe. I'm not sure. I know Devin Haney has.
It's not gone now.
Yeah. It does. Sorry. So it does. Yeah, because he has Fortuna and the winner of this and this one first. So if he does, then Haney and Garcia, and that knocks off one of the hype jobs. And then, maybe them and Lopez, and it knocks off the other hype jobs. Hopefully the hype jobs knock off each other.
The hype jobs knock off each other.
There's been a lot of talk about. I haven't watched much to the kid. I'll be perfectly honest with you about Ryan Garcia. That his stamina is an issue. He hasn't gone the distance.
Mm.
Is that justified? What they're talking about him, that he has stamina issues, or is it just because he's beating everybody early doors and he hasn't gone the distance? But there seems to be a lot of talk, and it's not just. It's quite widespread that he has quite bad stamina issues. Does anybody know anything more about
that?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think maybe it's just that he finishes some fights early, but he has been like 10 rounds and 6 rounds, some of the other distances, but he I think these guys need to get in with each other.
Oh yeah, for real.
And Haney and Lopez, so these frauds can be found out. Because people are tired of hearing about them. A lot of them, like.
Did I hear you say fraud?
I said these frauds.
These frauds?
Yeah.
You know how I feel about frauds.
Tyrone's ruthless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry. You know how I feel about frauds, Tyrone. Carry on.
Yeah. I get it. But 135 seems like it's a mess right now.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Let me send this here. I can't write and talk at the same time. Right, I've just sent it, MMA champ. Check your email. Yeah, well, this is what I mean. It's like this up and down a lot of the divisions, though, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
They do need to fight. Rob Sportsman Lee hit it on the head before, because that's exactly how I feel about Devin Haney. Okay, yeah, he's not fought nobody to name, but me personally, I see him the best in that division at 130. Is it 135 or 140, whatever it is? I can't remember. I see him at 135, and I see him the best at that division. I think. Well, you know what I think of Devin Haney. I think I know you don't like him. Yeah, well, I'm not saying you don't like him, Tyrone. I'm just saying you don't think he's as good as what me personally I say he is. But I think Devin Haney is. I think he bashes all of them. I do. And even if he does, I don't know. That's what I think.
I wouldn't. Yeah, but I wouldn't. See, that's the thing, Long. I wouldn't be mad at that. You know what I'm saying? Because, but the thing about it is that, you know, I think at some point, like, people's heads got like a little bit too pumped up. You know what I'm saying? Not that they got big heads, but their heads just got pumped up. You know what I'm saying? A little bit. And, you know, it's like one of those things. Now all of a sudden, Lomachenko was thinking about fighting certain fighters, but at first when he had the belt, he didn't want to fight nobody. You know what I'm saying? And then it's the same thing. Like look at Devin Haney. He wants to fight this guy. This guy doesn't want to fight him because maybe money or this and the third. But then these other guys below him want to fight him. You know what I'm saying? And it's a repetitive cycle. And that's the reason why I said these guys is, in the previous videos, these guys just need to shake it up. But you know, I can see Ryan Garcia steamrolling Luke Campbell, and I think that Luke Campbell is just going to have to take this fight smart. I think the main thing he probably can exploit is Ryan Garcia's left hook. I think he can exploit that. If he could get him to fire off and counter that bad boy, I think he could probably best him with a better shot and probably even knock him down because he puts everything into that left hook. He puts everything into it.
Yeah.
And he's going to be off balance. So get him to throw that, get out of the way, and pop him. You know what I'm saying? But
it's a dangerous fight, Mike. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But as far as stamina wise, yeah, I mean, shit, Canvas might be right. I mean, how many fights has this guy had at 10 rounds, 8 rounds, 12 rounds, you know, actually go the distance, actually move around and stuff. So it's not like we know that this guy can, you know, perform at these levels and stuff like that. But we know that he can get you out of there if you suck in the earlier rounds.
Yeah.
Huh?
MMA champ, what have you got to say, bro?
Yo. So I think Haney is the best at 135. I know you guys might disagree, but the reason I think he is, you know, you don't always need to get knocked out.
I think he is. I think he is, bro.
You don't always need to get a knockout. Like you could look good without getting knocked out. Like he dominated Gamble. There is no point in the fight where we thought Gamble was winning the fight, and that's a fact. And I just think, you know, people, you know, need to stop going too hard on Devin. And I want to talk about this WBC, you know, Devin Haney being the real WBC champion. If you look on the IBF, the WBA, WBO, and the WBC website, they all have Devin Haney as the champion. If you look at you know, the IBF, it says the WBC Devin Haney. Like, you know, it has two female, Devin Haney for WBC. So people need to stop, you know, this stuff, because if you look at all the rankings and everything, they have Devin Haney as the WBC champion. So we need to stop this. The franchise is not recognized. When it's recognized, then I'll say Teofimo Lopez is the real champion. But for now, he's not. So yeah, that's what I got on it.
Well, nobody's is owned Devin Haney like that. Nobody was on his next on his channel or anything like that. We just saying is he hasn't shown enough. You know what I'm saying? And we waiting to see. Nobody's on his ass or anything like that. Well, I know that's what I'm saying. But as far as who's the real champion, who's franchise, or whatever the case may be, who's the king of the hill in the WBC in that weight class? That's what everybody needs to understand. And nobody can dictate to anybody out here the way the rules of the WBC is on who's the champion, who's the franchise, right? And maybe you can't make my mind up on what I want to believe with this thing. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the man that's on the hill, the king of the hill, is the champion. You see what I'm saying? The guy that's on top, like Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat on his throne, is not Devin Haney. You see what I'm saying?
Whoa, what do you mean I can't make you believe anything? First of
No,
all,
you can't.
wait,
Listen,
I'm saying,
listen. This is
okay,
not an
okay.
argument. This is not an argument.
Let me
Because
speak, man. Let
no,
me
because
speak.
let me say this. Let me say this. I'm gonna let you speak. If you want to go back and forth with this, you can all day, but you're not gonna make my mind up on it.
Okay,
So
yes, but it's that's just being delusional. Then, if you these are facts, like you can look on their
who's the king of the
website.
hill? Who's the king of the hill? Who's the king of the hill?
knows this too. You can look on their
Who's the king of the
website.
hill?
They have
Who's on
WBC.
top?
Huh?
Who's sitting on top of the mountain?
Who's the WBC champion? Let me ask you
No,
a question.
who's sitting on the top?
Who's the WBC
Who's above
champion?
Devin Haney? Who's
Who's
above
the
Devin Haney?
WBC champion?
When you look at the WBC rankings, who's above Devin Haney? Who's the king of the hill? Who beat the top dog in that weight division? Who beat the top dog? Who beat the top dog that Devin Haney was chasing? Was Devin Haney chasing Lomachenko? Oh, yes, he was. Who won?
Who's the WBC
You're not going to make my mind up on this, and I don't even know why you're even arguing
who
with
has
this.
mandatory?
This is the reason why
not dunking their
this is the reason why you arguing with me with this. Because you want to be right
Who
on
has
something.
mandatories, bro?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Who's the king of the hill? Answer the question.
Who's ducking mandatories?
Who's the king of the hill?
Who's the
on
WBC
top?
champion?
Who's on top?
Who's the WBC champion?
Who's on top?
Who's the WBC champion, man?
Who's on top? Just answer the question.
You
I
answer my question.
I asked you a question first.
You answer
didn't
my
answer
question, bro. And
no,
I saw
you asked. No, I asked you first, and you not. I don't care. I'll be on Mo Box's
bro.
I'll be on Mo Box's channel. Everybody shut up. I want to. You answer my question. Since you won't answer my question, use a body. You a buddy, man. You a buddy. You a buddy.
Answer
MMA.
my question, bro.
MMA.
Right, just don't start this shit again, man.
Why do
you even bring them on? You
2 seconds a minute. Mikey, 2 seconds. MMA, where are you from, man?
Yeah, he's always been all right, man. He's all right. He's from America, isn't he?
He does the same thing on everybody's channel, starts arguments and stuff like that. I'm not trying to argue with a dude on who's franchise or not.
UYB.
Who's YB?
No, that's not him. That's not him. But listen.
Question.
Okay.
Can I say something quickly? Like, we don't need to argue at the end of the day. MMA champ, he knows his boxing. Mike, you know your boxing. Let's just talk boxing, okay? Like, we don't need to do this all the time because MMA champ, I know how old you are. You're only 15, 16 years old. He's a young boy, but at the same time, he knows his boxing. So just talk boxing. Just talk boxing. Just, you know what I mean?
I'm talking boxing, but why can't he answer the question?
It's because I asked you a question first and you didn't answer. Look at this. Excuse me, young man. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Right.
No. Let me just say this.
I'm not even gonna entertain him, man.
Dude, let me just say this. I don't care about all this stuff. Look,
I'm not gonna entertain him.
When I say something to you, respectfully. Listen. Hear me out. Let me speak.
Let's forget it, man.
No. Just let me speak. Let me speak, and then we can continue. When I ask you a question respectfully, not raising my voice or anything, when you disrespect me and call me delusional, and then we keep the conversation going, and I never said anything bad about you. See, that's the thing I'm saying. There's no need to do that.
The reason I called you delusional is because if you're not gonna accept facts,
no, I don't have to accept. It's not a fact. Who's the king of the hill? And you can't answer.
I said I was talking about WBC champion.
It doesn't matter
about the king of the hill.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, that, bro.
It doesn't matter.
Spoke about that. So what are you talking about?
But guys, listen. You know what?
I'm going to stop it there. They're arguing because we're going round in circles. I want to finish off because I'm going to get off in a bit. But I want to talk. How do you see this fight going tomorrow, MMA champ? Forget Devin Haney. Let's talk Luke Campbell and Ryan Garcia.
I got Ryan Garcia knockout late. I think it's going to be a good test for him, but I ultimately got, Ryan. I think he's going to, catch him, with a hook, and it's going to be lights out for Campbell. Campbell has been put down before, so I got Ryan. Still going to be a tough test, but yeah. And either way, if it goes to decision, they're not going to give it to Campbell. Come on. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good fight. I think he's got the the meanings to be a bit of a war. I agree with what Tyrone said before. Luke Campbell's got to believe in himself. Because I was speaking with Ty yesterday, and Ty made some good points. That's what he's got to do, Tyrone? He's got to stop thinking, "Oh, I'm fighting the best and all that." He's got to grit. He's got to bite down on his gum shield and go for it.
Yeah. I like I said, I have tears for these guys. Like personally, as far as talent, right? I'd say Ryan Garcia is the lowest, then Haney's the second lowest, then Lopez, and Tank is older than those guys. So Tank is 26, I think. But Tank is more talented than, I guess, is the most talented prospect, quote unquote, out of all those dudes. But, right now, Lopez has the belts. Yeah, he got away with one, but he has them. And for Campbell to get back up there, he has to get in, and beat Garcia. I said Garcia will never be as good as, Linares or Lomachenko. So to lose to him tomorrow night would be embarrassing for him. And it just shows how much of an underachiever he is. He's always come short. For somebody an Olympic gold medal and not even have one title or even a European or anything like that sucks.
Yeah.
So for him, he needs to go in there and take that guy out. Now, style-wise, it's a bad style matchup. I mean, he's always a counterpuncher. He likes doing the boxing and stuff like that. So it'd be weird to see him bring the fight to him, but that's what he would need, because all you have to do is hit this guy and he will go down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dude dress me up and push me. I was telling you, Laws, dress me up and I'll get 12, 13-year-old girl fans too. Not very hard.
Yeah. I agree with Tyrone. I think Luke's too much of a regimented fighter. He's set in his ways, and I think to beat Garcia tomorrow night.
And Garcia's conditioning and stamina is going to be on point, because he's with Reynosa and Canelo team.
Just like Canvas finished MMA, and then you can have your bit.
Yeah, Luke's gonna have to do things tomorrow night that he's never done before, and he's always fights in a set pattern behind the jab, and he's gonna have to break that mold, I think, to beat Garcia tomorrow night. But stranger things have happened. It's been a year of the
exactly.
The overachievers, the bloated egos, hasn't it? We've seen Anthony Yard get found out for what he is. Dubois, it could happen tomorrow night, but I just feel Luke's got to come out of himself to take the win tomorrow night, and I don't think he's got it in him to do it.
Do you know what? You've just hit on a great point there. Sorry, Canvas. Go on, bro.
No, I'm done, Ross.
Yeah, you just hit on a great part there about Luke Campbell being regimented and set in his old ways, and then you're talking about Anthony Yard. Exact same thing. I watched not similar, but two similar things. Luke Campbell, I watched an interview off, was it Fight Hype or Fight? Or I can't remember, one of the two. They did an interview with him, and he asked him, "What do you think of Ryan Garcia?" And do you know what his answer was? He says, I don't watch him. He says, I've never watched him fight. And I thought, that's a bit fucking strange. And the guy said, "You've never watched him?" He said, "No, I don't watch videos on my opponents." He says, "Have you ever seen him fight?" He said, "Yeah, but I've not watched many of his fights." He says, "My trainer watches videos on him and then just tells me what to do." And I thought, that's a bit fucking stupid. That's a sticking point, because me personally, if I was a fighter, I would study hours and hours of videotapes of my opponents to know what you're doing.
Yeah. Garcia is certainly analysing Gamble, because I watched a video on it today. But to win that fight tomorrow night, Luke's going to have to do things he's never done before, and that's, come behind from the jab and go for him. But that's not his style. He's a counterpuncher, as Tyrone said, and he's going to have to do things that he's just not used to doing. And as Mikey's pointed out as well, I think the speed will be a problem for Luke tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Well,
Good point.
I think
And invite Stormy on.
I think I don't. You can't compare, you know, being set in your ways with lions in the camp and Campbell, because that what he did, I think, in my opinion, is just downright what he said. I don't know what he did.
Wait, Mike, not to cut you off, but I saw that interview with him and with on BWTM, and apparently he said, Yard walked back to the corner and said, "How do I get past this jab?" And Tunde said, "Lions in the camp."
No.
Lions in the camp. Lions in the camp.
I mean, I shouldn't even talk about like trainers like that. I mean,
You know what? It probably was a joke. If you said that was a joke.
They can't in the middle of a fight.
Yeah, because it's just basically, I'm gonna tell you this one thing. My coaches do the same thing to me sometimes. That when they call a play and I ask him like, "Hey man, what's that?" He was like, "I don't know, figure it out." He's like, and then I go back and he'd be like, "Dude, you keep asking the same thing over and over again, and blah 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 with the whoop because it's kind of hard to hear when you got your helmet on. That's what the problem is. We end up coming out, but he was frustrated with me. He wanted to see me, bust my ass and tell me this is why you need to study. But back to that whole thing with this, you just can't compare it, man. Because that Anthony Yard dude, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's ego. I don't know if he really thought he was that great or that good. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know if he's missing a few screws. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna tell you this one thing is like there's no way in the world that no matter how old you are that you can't be taught something. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm not saying get your whole game plan right and stuff like that. But there's something that you can do. There's something that you can learn. Michael J. White is 50-something years old and he's still sparring, and every time he spars, he still tries to get better. That's the ideal of being a martial artist, is that you always perfecting your craft, you always learning new things, and you're always getting better. You see what I'm saying? So if you take that same analogy, no matter how old you are, no matter how young you are, there's always that room for improvement. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason. That's one thing I said about Luke Campbell. I hope that he took something away from his counterparts up over there and saw that, they've been standing still for so long and they have not been improved as far as stamina footwork, jabs, defense, offense, slipping punches, parrying punches, springing off punches. A lot of those guys haven't been getting better. Avoiding simple left hooks and uppercuts, head movement. A lot of those guys haven't been getting better. And I hope that fighters like Luke Campbell and Anthony Yard does see that. But specifically, I said about yeah. But at the end of the day, I don't think that's what's going to happen that night. I don't think it's because it ain't been happening much. Anthony Joshua has shown more improvement than a lot of heavyweights in the last 5-10 years.
Yeah.
And that one little instance, he showed a lot of. It wasn't like, ooh, wow, but at least he somewhat perfected his craft of being able to fight on the back foot just a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So if he did that this fight, what do you think he's going to do in the next fight?
Yeah. Well, Mike, just before I bring Stormy in, that's a very good point, mate. And I think just to answer your question about Anthony Yard, bro, that's Anthony Yard's problem. He's a wasted talent who's his ignorance and his arrogance to the sport of thinking that he's actually better than what he is has shown now. Okay, against Kovalev, I think he was unlucky, but he should have learned after that fight. He should have got rid of Tunde. Tunde is not no fucking elite trainer. Tunde is just an average trainer, but Anthony Yard should have left him, gone off to America, like you say, learn on something, on perfecting where he went wrong. Instead, he stays with Tunde. He fights a guy who basically just beat him with a jab.
Yeah. This is a question for obviously when Stormy pops in, because we've all heard the
Yeah,
rumours.
go on, bring Stormy in after.
Whether it's true or not, is sparring essential? Because obviously Anthony Yarde does not spar, so we've heard it. Is that essential? Let's go.
I heard he did spar, but
Go on, Stormy, over to you after watching.
Yeah. I'll be quick, but see, this is where like it's hard for Anthony to stay with Tunde because the media was asking about sparring, and then Tunde like said, he implied that they didn't spar, even though they do. Because I've been to the Peacock and I've seen Anthony getting ready for fucking sparring last year, and I saw the other guy, Ali was his name, and then I saw Dan Aziz in there as well. So Anthony does spar, but Tunde went along with that story for some weird reason, and he wonders why he gets hate, and he wonders why he is talked down upon about sparring, because he just sold a lie pretty much, and he blamed it on the media, but really, in all truth, he did. Yes, it's essential. I heard Calzaghe didn't do too much due to injuries and everything, but some fighters are different at the end of the day. But yeah, you need it, and especially with a guy like Yarde, that pad work shit. That's for me that's not good. The guy needs to get his feet right and a whole bunch of other shit. But yeah, you go ahead, Stormy. Welcome, man.
What's up, guys? How you guys doing? Happy New Year to everybody on the panel, everybody in the chat, man. What's good with you guys?
Yeah, what's happening? What's Brad?
Happy New Year, Stormy.
Well, it's all good, man. It's all good. I hear you guys talking about Yarde. I heard something about Joshua. What do you want me to chime in on?
Just basically to sharpen the senses. There's a rumor that's been confirmed that was heard on his last fight. Yarde doesn't spar. How essential is that in preparation for a fight?
Well, it kind of looks like it, don't it? When you see the finished product in the ring getting touched up, don't have any answers, can't make any adjustments, and he's regressing by the moment. And it's because the opponents that have seen him thus far, they realize, oh, this guy doesn't have very much to offer. Let me just go ahead and put something on him, And if it be a jab, it'd be a jab. If it be aggression, it'd be aggression. But you could see that the way that the Yarde camp has approached professional boxing, he doesn't look like he's ready for professional boxing. He may have gotten away with a lot of things being an amateur, but as far as being a professional, man, this is a whole different ball game.
I don't think he I don't think he really looks too bad. I think really when he said that sparring stuff, I think that was just I think he is sparring, and what you said, I think they said that for the shock value if he happened to win that fight. I just think there's a couple of things that he just needs to work on, and whether or not he had the right sparring partner in there, he had the right person in there watching the sparring and make sure everything that goes right in sparring and stuff like that. But a lot of fighters, last year failed to slip jabs. A lot of fighters and got their eyes, and one guy got his eye socket swelled up. One fighter failed to even have a little bit of head movement to keep his head off center, and he caught an uppercut and damn near in it outside of the ropes. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that fighters do wrong in the ring and stuff like that, and it's a combination of their teams, combination of their own demise in the gym that I believe in. And last year football season, we didn't have any scrimmages. We just hit the season without one scrimmage, and we finished the season pretty good. Not having the scrimmage wasn't the factor of any of our games, not actually having full contact in practice wasn't the reason why we didn't run the ring last year. It was coaching. It was flat out. It was play call. It was the ability to say, come back to the corner, say hi, get past his jab, and getting a reply of lines in the camp. It was the coaches didn't have a rebuttal. You know what I'm saying? So and that's what I think it boils down to. This Anthony Yard guy is coaching, in my opinion, because you got a guy. He has everything. He has the looks. I mean, let's just be quite frank. He's not a bad looking guy. He has the looks. He has the physique. He has the athleticism and everything, but he doesn't have the coaching.
Yeah. No, Mike, he doesn't have skills.
Yeah, but that's how you get skills.
Not necessarily. Sometimes you have talent. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes talent can be cultivated. But that guy doesn't have anything, man. You can see it. If you look at fighters professionally, if you look at enough of them, if you study, you can see who has something and who doesn't. He's made it a long way up to the Kovalev situation with whatever it was he was brought in with. But it's going to turn on him now. It's you have seen the best of Anthony Yard.
We probably that and that could be very well that we have seen the best of Anthony Yard. And it was you are correct with Kovalev, but we could take Tyson Fury, for instance. He's not the most athletic guy in the world and stuff like that, but clearly somewhere around the line he learned how to box. You know what I'm saying? And that he learned the skills, his skills and stuff like that. And maybe it's him being 6'7", maybe with the combination of that, but somewhere around the line he learned something. And like I said before, martial arts is not is martial arts, whether not it's boxing, whatever the case may be, it you're into, or it's a combination of a lot of things. It's always about getting better. It's always learning new skills. It's already learning new fundamentals. It's always about getting better. And there's room for improvement with the guy, but how do you improve, right, when your coaching is limited?
Yeah, that's a good point, and I want to put this question to the panel. A lot of young guys coming through the ranks, the amateur ranks. What used to be the norm, especially in the United States, was the case of you come through the amateur ranks, you go to the Olympics, and then you turn pro, and you hone your craft in the amateurs. But a lot of guys now are skipping that. Why spend the time losing more brain cells and going straight to the pros? Does anybody think that's a good thing, or should they hone their craft in the amateurs and get more experience, or should they go straight pros? What do you think, God?
They're doing it for the money.
Yeah, obviously. Well, a lot of guys are saying, why lose the brain cells in the amateurs when I can go straight to the pros and earn the money? Is it a good thing, or should they hone their craft?
I think it's a good and a bad thing. I think it's a individual thing. These guys are here for our enjoyment, first off, and they got to feed their families and stuff like that. My main thing is I don't think you should leave the amateurs when you know you're not quite ready, and then get into professionals and do what the going rate is, padding your record up, getting first round knockouts. Let's look at Philip Herkovic. Look who he's fighting. You know what I'm saying? Even though we see that he's possessed the skills to not fight these guys and fight somebody else. Lomachenko, look how many amateur fights did this guy have, and as soon as he gets to the pros, he's ranked real fast. A lot of guys is not going to get those rankings. Some guys are just they're going to have to get out of the amateurs real quick, try to hit the ground running hard in professional boxing. But guess what? They still might not even get a good fight to their 15th, 20th, 17th, 30th fight. You know what I'm saying? That stuff is going to happen. You might take a couple of L's too there in the way. I just think it's not a good thing for a lot of boxers, because any boxer anybody, me, you, Stormy B-Man, we could all get a professional boxing license. You know what I'm saying? And is it a good idea to get a professional boxing license and get up in the ring and end up like Nick Robinson or really get extremely hurt and sent to the hospital? No. And I think you're absolutely right. I think Campbell's been. I think we all should do a better job on reporting of amateur boxing. Boxers. I think that a lot of these guys, they do need to have at least, 10, 15, 20 fights, amateur boxing and stuff like that, or, you know, possess some type of skills to get up in the professionals, because if you look at the rankings, is that what you said is directly in correlation to why these rankings look like that.
What are you saying,
You
Stormy?
can't.
Yeah. Stormy, what are you saying about that, about the amateur ranks?
Well, in the amateur ranks, that's where, you start to get the wheels put on the chassis, and you start adding parts to it to make the engine go. Now, how long you want to stay in the amateurs? People stay amateur for different reasons. I believe that Vasily Lomachenko stayed in the amateurs for as long as he could, because in that culture, it was a way of earning a living for him as well. And when he got just too old to be beating up on those younger guys and everything, he was forced to, a couple of Olympics. Now you got to go out there and get in there with the real professional, the real men. And he was able to bring that glory that he experienced with gold medals and everything to the pros. And because of his culture and background, they were able to negotiate an opportunity for him to jump and leapfrog ahead of a lot of men who had put in the time and the grind trying to earn title shots and stuff. And again, they milked that for what it was worth. But had he fought certain individuals and come up like he was supposed to, amateur to pro, he would have lost way before he did. Salido just happened to be a man who could show the fact that someone who has a pro-am style and someone who has a professional aggressive style, that the two often can be offset simply by the experience of the man who is the best at what he does. And at that time, Salido represented the best of what was aggressive as a pro against that pro-am style that Vasily Lomachenko brought. Now, that all being said, for a guy who's training and has aspirations to become a professional, they have to look at what his talents are. They have to look at, does he have a big right hand? Is he a left-handed guy? Is he a guy with a big left hook? Can he take a shot very well? They build around what talents you have and what your abilities are, and good coaches can define that. They can pick that out of the bunch and then accentuate that and put you in a situation when you turn pro to cultivate that by putting you in fights that will give you the opportunity to learn and grow. Not just if you're a guy who can punch, and not just showcase fights, but you knocking everybody out, because you don't learn anything after you knocked a couple of guys out simply because you just know that you can punch. But in the pros, damn near everybody can punch. It's about building on that. So there is a way to go about it. And in the past, people took their time. Nowadays, we're in the fast food microwave society. Everybody wants results right now. You want to you go on a diet, you want to lose a lot of weight in a week. You want to see results without working through it. And so therefore, many phases are skipped along the way. And if you don't have good quality instructors, trainers, teachers, and coaches, what will happen is you'll be exposed that much faster. Even the great coaches, trainers, mentors, or whatever, they can mask your deficiencies and accentuate what your assets are, but you still will be revealed. It can happen the very next outing, depending on what questions get asked of you in that fight. We saw that take place with Danny Dubois and Joe Joyce. It happens.
Excuse me. Stormy, do you think, just going a little bit off that subject, because I just want to go back to what we were talking about Anthony Yard before I zipped off for a cigarette. Do you think that some fighters like Anthony Yard and other fighters who, let's say, they've had the same coach for a while and they don't pick new things up, do you think that they're wasting their talent for not moving on and trying other coaches? I mean, because the reason why I'm asking you that is because I believe that Anthony Yard is a great talent, but I just think he's very limited at this moment in time because he's with Tunde. I think Tunde's taken him as far as he can go. And I think, like Mike said before, it's his arrogance and stuff like that of thinking he's better than what he is the reason why he lost that fight the other week to that Arthur guy.
And it's also why he lost to Kovalev. And it's also why I've said that he's gone about as far as he's going to go as far as what he's shown you. The reason that it comes down to that is it's about character.
Yeah.
He has poor character. And in having poor character, he has poor judgment. Okay? The ego has grown and flexed to the degree that there's no listening, there's no learning, there's no external information that could go into him where he could say, oh, I need to get better in this aspect or whatever. Give you an example. Lennox Lewis. When Lennox was an amateur, he had an outstanding amateur career. He became an Olympic gold medalist. But prior to becoming a gold medalist, when he went to the Olympics, before he won his gold, he got schooled. He got schooled by guys like Tyrell Biggs, Stevenson, and he learned something. So when he came back, he had a goal. He had an ambition, and he won the gold. He defeated Riddick Bowe. He won the gold medal. Now, when he turned pro, his amateur coach meshed in with a professional coach for him. Now, his professional coach brought in even someone else so that they can put him on track toward being successful. And he was.
Yeah.
Then he came to America and he started to see what was happening over here, and he learned a great deal. But when he lost to Oliver McCall, he did a great thing. He went and took Emmanuel Stewart, who was working in Oliver McCall's camp for the fight that they fought the first time. Yeah. And he hired him, not because of, Emmanuel Stewart helped McCall defeat him. He recognized Emmanuel Stewart. He knew who Emmanuel Stewart was. And he said that if he can make a guy like Oliver McCall knock me out, I can learn far more because I'm more talented than Oliver McCall. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so he humbled himself and said, hey, I need more. And there, Emmanuel Stewart recognized that quality in him as well. And he's like, this guy is intelligent. He's not just a good fighter, but he's intelligent, meaning that he can break things down. Now, I'm not saying that Anthony Yard needs to do all the things like Lennox Lewis did, but to be able to take accountability. When it goes wrong because of you, not other people. Yeah. If you want it to go right, it can go right because of you, because you are willing to make the commitment to make the changes that are necessary and to put yourself through the ringer, so to speak, so that you can get the desired results, because it don't happen overnight and it don't happen just because you wish it.
Yeah.
You have to work for it. Some
Yeah.
just have to work a little harder than others, and that comes out on the talent end of things. But this is what that's all about, which is why you will see separation at the top of the sport. Even though the guys you thought that were really, really good, when they get in there with someone else who is really, really good, you will see the difference between the two. You will see a separation because it comes down to character. It comes down to a lot more than just being able to ball up your fist and hit the other guy.
Yeah. And do you know what, Stormy? Klitschko did the very similar thing, didn't he?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Because
And those were two of the most successful guys Emmanuel Stewart had because they were willing to do those things.
Yeah.
And they were listening to a guru who had the wherewithal to bring them up to that level. You can't just entrust that into anybody. You understand?
Yeah.
It's just like right now, you can look at Derek James. And even though he may not have been the most accomplished head coach and trainer, look at what he has done with the talent he has worked with.
Facts.
And the results that he's got out of working with those men gives him more confidence in what he's doing and the principles that he's sharing because he's getting those tremendous results out of his proteges.
Yeah.
Now, what we would need is one of these guys who need to go to a new level to go see Mr. James. And then you can see Mr. James's magic work with someone who needs to be brought from one point to another.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, good point. Yeah. Right, I'm going to get ready to wrap it up. But before I get out of here, there's two fights what I want to ask you, Stormy.
You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. Tell you what, let's mute Mike.
I'll just say what Stormy's been saying. I think compared to the US, to the UK, I think we pander our fighters too much, and they're not hungry enough. Take classic examples, and it's the same with Yard. They do well at the Olympics, they get a medal. Audley Harrison was a classic example. He come from the Olympics.
Audrey.
He got put on TV on a Saturday night, prime time. Okay, got money thrown at him, and it's the same with Yard. He got put on TV straight away. Got to deal with Adidas for his shorts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
These guys aren't hungry because they're earning money automatically straight away when they turn pro. Fighters in the States, or should I say, track and field athletes, is a prime example in the States. They ain't getting nothing until they start breaking world record times and stuff like that on track and field, or they're getting Olympic style times. And yet
sponsors too. You gotta they're getting the sponsors.
Yeah,
that ain't shit.
Yeah, UK athletes and boxers get sponsors thrown at them as soon as they turn pro because they had a good Olympics, and it makes them lazy. And that's what's wrong with this country. They're not strict disciplinarians. Some of the coaches. Tunde's a classic example. Okay, he's being ruled by the boxer, as Stormy said.
Yeah,
and that's one of the problems with this country in the UK.
Do you know what, Canvas? Same fucking thing with the fucking football team. Exactly the same thing. What you've just said is the same thing with the England football team.
Yeah,
you get fucking they come through the rankings. They get all the sponsors. They get pampered. They get we're celebrities, lifestyle living, and they're fucking lazy. They go to the World Cup. They're living it up in the Premier League, getting hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds a week. They go to the World Cup and they fucking shit because they're lazy.
I remember Michael Johnson, the 400-meter champ from.
That ain't me. That ain't me, by the way. That's not me.
No, obviously from Atlanta, Michael Johnson, 400 meters, absolute legend, and he done commentary for BBC at the Olympics and like the European Championships and World Championships, and they asked him a question. It was a very simple question: why aren't Team GB, Team Great Britain performing? We're throwing all this lottery money at them and stuff like that. We're not getting results on track and field. It's quite a simple answer because they're fucking lazy.
Yeah.
Why do they need to win titles? 100 meters, 200 meters, 400 meters. They get sponsorship money. He goes, it's not the same in the States. In the States, they have to work for it to get a sponsor. People like Tyson Game, Michael Green, sprinters like that. They can only dream of what the UK guys, when they used to come over for meetings on the Diamond League, these sprinters couldn't believe that the benefits that UK athletes were getting to what the US athletes used to have to go through to get sponsors. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, if Canvas, even if you like look at our sports over here, whether that's hiking, baseball, football, and stuff like that, all these contracts is usually, even if it's guaranteed, it's still in like incentive based. Like you have to go to practice. Like you got to go to workouts and the gym and stuff like that. You got to do this media stuff. Like as far as professional sports, yeah, there's like contractual stuff you have to do to get all that money. Then when you don't go to practice and stuff like that, and you don't go where you're supposed to go, they deduct that shit out of your paycheck.
Damn.
You know? So
wow.
Because it seems like everything with soccer, it seems like everything is like spot on, like upfront guaranteed. It's like, what do you expect these guys to do? It's like but I'm gonna tell you one thing, I think part of the problem is like a combination of the fans and nationalism. You know what I'm saying? Because with boxing, UK really has been holding it down, for a bit. And if you look at it, even the sorry guys get put on a pedestal. But the thing about it is, they can't mistake the cheers and the support for greatness. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it seems like it is some of the times. They take the cheers, the support, the amount of numbers in the stadium and all that stuff, and the amount of money they get in their pocket is greatness. When really that's the stuff that they should have been busting their ass in the gym with. And it happens all the time. I mean, we can speculate this with Dillian White, Derek Chisora. Hell, you can even kind of, say even Deontay Wilder. You can speculate even with him. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like one of those things, man. It sucks. And I don't think any athlete should get like up of that much upfront money without performing certain duties.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately in the UK, Mikey, and it's always been a problem going years back, Loz will tell you, we're too quick to call people world class.
Oh, yeah.
As in athletes, boxers. Too quick. Way too quick. And when they make world class, it's all swept under the carpet, man. It's all swept under the carpet, and let's just move on from that one.
Yeah. Right, I want to leave you with a fight before I get off, because I'm going to have to get off in a minute. I see Robert Alanius and Kawanaki are fighting again. How do you see that fight going? I'm quite interested in that fight. Do you think Kawanaki will get revenge, or do you think he'll get duffed up again like he did the first time? Tyrone, or anyone who wants to lead off?
Go, Ty.
I would like to see it repeat like the first time. That was funny. Him putting that snowman on his ass.
Tyrone.
But
Snowman, you're ruthless, man.
If he can, because the way he caught him coming in. I don't think Kawanaki will really change much. I think he's set in his ways. He's kind of like a girl fighting. If you think about it, the way he just throws punches sometimes, and he just tries to overwhelm you with pressure. So I think if Helenius can hold up, he could probably knock him out again, maybe sooner.
Yeah, I could see it happening again. Helenius was a problem for White, wasn't he? He was very awkward for White. White couldn't break him down. So, as Torres, it could happen again. I could easily go for Helenius again. He's been a problem for a lot of people.
Yeah. You see, what always gets me there was it Gerald Washington absolutely destroyed fucking Elenius.
Right. I thought that was supposed to be Gerald Washington's retirement fight. I'm not a big fan of the Tin Man, Gerald Washington.
But that's what I mean. I think Tyrone. I think if Washington fought Kawanaki, I think Kawanaki would beat him.
They did fight.
Did they?
Oh yeah, Casper got him out of there in like 2 rounds or a round and a half or something. Yeah. Washington Kawanaki fought.
Fucking, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because you know what Gerald Washington's defense is? To just lean on the ropes, and he got done in.
I never knew that.
Oh, he got blown away. It wasn't even close.
Crazy. Yeah,
it was really bad.
It was disgusting.
Yeah, it was.
I'm gonna have to go and find that.
Almost 2 years ago now.
It's quite funny, isn't it? Because you see the physique of Washington, and he's quite rich.
Yeah.
And then you see like a doughboy like Kanaki, it just beat the shit out of him. it shouldn't happen, but it does.
Yeah, it was disgusting, man. Like, you know, and me and Tyrone, matter of fact, I think we all talked about this fight on the live. We all talked about this fight, and me and Tyrone was going. I think me and Tyrone was going back and forth because of, you know, I figured this dude would get his damn defense up, but
no. We were talking about Charles Martin versus Washington.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm getting mixed up, but this the boys' defense, man. The boys' defense, but that you know what, to tell you the truth, it's Helenius fighting fucking Kanaki again. It's kind of like they're still trying to get Kanaki, recognition, for something, because we haven't seen that many rematches like in this type of form in boxing. We haven't seen that many, last year, and to see this rematch, which pretty much I can see it happening the same way, because I don't know what these dudes been doing because of this COVID, man. I don't know what these dudes been doing in this COVID, and I really wish that, but there's still, again, these guys need to fight, and I don't know if they could get a fight. I don't know if they could have got a fight and stuff like that with somebody else, but I'm pretty sure if they wanted to, Michael Hunter was there. Michael Hunter was, he needed to fight.
He should be fighting. Yeah, he's a good fighter as well, isn't he?
Yeah, and they chose a rematch. And that makes me wonder.
Go ahead, Travis.
Go, Ty. Sorry, man.
No, I was just gonna say, to be honest, when I know Laws, you brought up COVID. What was Kawanaki doing? Yeah, I mean, we know what Kawanaki was doing for him. If he didn't get past 350, that would be a huge achievement.
Yeah.
And I doubt it. He's probably over 350 now. I mean, let me actually check his Instagram now. Go ahead, Kevis.
Yeah, it could be really awkward. It could be like David Price trying to get past Tony Thompson. If they had 3 fights, he still wouldn't get past Tony Thompson.
Yeah,
they've obviously said to Kanaki, if you want to progress, his camp or his promoter have said, you got to get past this guy if you want big fights, and that's more pressure on Kanaki to try and get past this guy. But we've seen it in the past; it can go horribly wrong. I mean, if Thompson finished David Price as a fighter,
yeah, definitely,
and it could basically be the same for Kanaki. If he doesn't get past him, then he'll remember it as basically a nearly man. So
yeah,
I've got to dip anyway, guys.
Yeah, me too. Great, I'm going to get off canvas myself.
Nice seeing from you, Canvas.
Yeah, you take it easy, Monkey. The rest of you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, laters.
Salute to you, Canvas.
Salute.
Right, I'm going to get up out of here, brothers.
You ain't going.
I am, Mike. I'm going to go and get some meat. I'm starving.
What the fuck are you going to go do? You ain't going to go do shit, man. You better stay on this live with us.
I'm going to go and get some eating.
You're about to go in that living room and get your ass kicked and wrestled by your son again. That's what you're going to do. No,
you want to watch a film. That's what you want to do.
Yeah. Right. Hey, thanks for having us, Laws.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for coming through. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Like to say thanks to the chat. Happy New Year to you all. Stormy, salute to you, bro, and Happy New Year.
Same to you, man. Thanks for having me on. Salute to the other brothers on the panel here. And
Right on.
hey, let's kick off 2021 with the best that we can do for the sport, man. Talking this good boxing talk.
Should be asking the boxing guys that, man. Shit.
Yeah. Watcher, Happy New Year, bro, and thanks for coming through.
Pleasure is mine, champ.
Oh, thank you, man. Tyrone, same to you, brother.
Yep, thanks for letting me on. Shout out to everybody on the panel, in the chat. Yep, enjoy the holidays.
Oh, thank you. Mike, always a pleasure. You know that, bro. And Happy New Year to you, mate. And a Happy New Year to everyone in the chat and everyone on the panel. Hope you have a great year. Thanks, Bruce Ghost. Thank you. Salute to you. Hope you have a great year. Well, as best year as we can. And I'll see you on next one. Peace out.
Empty the tank.